So you're on.
I'm in. All right.
Yeah, you're in.
Do
so
I wear that?
Is
this a
yeah,
thing?
you should just. Hey, everybody, what's up? Hello, Facebook Live. I'm
What's
here with my amazing friends here. This is Andrew Talcott, aka DJ Top Hat. Can we introduce you as that?
Yeah.
Can we unmask you?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of retired right now, but I'll come.
You'll never be out of retirement.
It's more
That's
like
okay.
more hiatus.
Yeah.
It's okay. Sitting across from me, Mr. Mar. I just learned. I didn't know that was your last name.
Yeah, it's
That's cool.
well, most people can't
Dan
pronounce it.
Zeisen, which is awesome.
So, yeah, well, most people think my first name is Dan and then last name is Zeisen. So I just keep my last name out of it, and it doesn't get confusing.
Yeah. And sitting to my left, the very talented Jodi, Lynn, Kobrin.
Oh, thanks, Ming.
Fly and Release Yoga
Yeah.
at Fly and Release Yoga, and yeah, Andrew decided he came out. He was here for our open house.
It was awesome.
Yeah, partied on with us, and decided he wanted to start something here. I'm like, dude,
I want to do it.
let's go. Let's have some fun.
Yeah.
So, I am recording. If you want, you just jump in and like, hello everybody. My name is
cool.
my name is and I'm here. Make sure you introduce everybody around the table,
Right.
and we'll just go off and running. And hello Facebook Live. If you want to chime in, I will have it up here, which is so we'll have comments here too. So, right. So please chime in anyway, even if you just want to say hello.
Hi.
Yeah. There's
I'm
literally
Andrew Talcott, and this is totally local. This is a totally local podcast.
and get as close to the mic as you can. There you go.
Should I put the headphones?
Yeah,
on
you
so I
probably
hear
should.
it?
You can hear yourself.
All right. My nasally drone, I could hear what I sound like. All right,
you
cool.
sound nice.
Oh, thank you. I like this mic. But basically, the premise of the show was just to highlight the colorful characters that live in and around the Jersey Shore area. And today, the first episode features Jodi Kobrin.
Thank you.
Leader and owner of Fly and Release Aerial Yoga. Is it Fly and Release Yoga or Fly and Release Aerial Yoga?
It's actually Aerial Academy, which I don't really put out there too often, but it's Fly and Release Yoga, Aerial Yoga, Fly and Release as a whole is almost like a culture.
All right. I could dig it.
A lifestyle.
Yeah.
A lifestyle.
And
Why limit yourself?
Exactly. Go for it. We also have a surprise guest, Mark Dan. Say it again.
Dan Zeisen.
Dan Zeisen.
Dan Zeisen.
How's it going, man?
Things are good. Can't
Things are
complain.
good?
Yeah.
All right.
Had a little
cool.
downtime today. Figured I'd slide by and.
Wow, you've got a really great voice for this kind of a thing.
Yeah, you do.
You really
Well,
kind of.
thank you. I apprate that.
Yeah.
I have to talk for a living, so I guess I've honed some skills over the years.
What do you do?
Jack of all trades, but right now sales rep in the action and extreme sports industry.
Oh.
So ski, bike, and all things associated with those. So
sweet.
yeah, it's fun. I sell toys for adults. It's great.
That's great. That's awesome. Well, thanks again, Ming, for having us all here and doing all this.
Absolutely. Welcome
thank
to the
you.
Shared Universe Podcast Studio. We are located in Eatontown, New Jersey. Brought to you by our friends at Blue Juice Comics and Ross Brewing Company of Red Bank, New Jersey. I'm glad you're here.
Wow,
I'm
thank
glad
you.
that you had enough fun coming here. Yeah, we had a little open house / holiday party a couple weeks ago. Andrew showed up. He partied. He hung out.
I was here.
Did you dance?
A little bit. It was so crowded. Like it got. I was like, oh, I'll go see Ming, hang out. Really didn't think, what would be there, who would be there, and I get here and it was just like packed. So
Yeah.
It was really interesting because Ming, you know how he is. So everyone he knows is super friendly,
Right.
and I just ended up talking to like random people. It's all it was all centered around sci-fi, comic books, stuff like that. But it was really cool. I love meeting new people and I love talking to people. Obviously, I like to talk.
You met all my crazy friends.
Exactly.
Some of them, I looked over and a couple of them cornered over here. I'm like, oh boy, I better go rescue them. We had some liquor here, so I was like, oh boy, like I can only imagine What
What was that? You had coffee. You had an IPA coffee beer. Or was it a stout? What
it
was that?
was I believe it was a stout from Ross Brewing. They brought a couple growlers over.
That was good.
Yeah, it was really good.
Shout out to Ross Brewing.
Yeah, they've named all their beers after, like, one's called the Navasink IPA, the other one's called like a Shrewsbury Porter. It's all named after local stuff here. So
That's awesome.
Do they have like a draft house, or is it just all packaged and sent out other places?
right now they are working. They have bought space to open up a brewery in Red Bank, New Jersey,
Oh, sweet.
literally right around the corner from Jan Silent Bob's Secret Stash.
Oh, cool.
That should hopefully be up in 3 to 4 months.
Oh, right on.
And they said their beers will be available in New York and New Jersey in 1 to 2 months.
Right.
So yeah, you'll be hearing about them because we will not stop talking about them.
Okay, good.
Let's
Epic
bring it.
plugs. so Jodi,
Yes, Andrew.
how did you, as far as aerial yoga is concerned, you're getting people off the ground. And what I read about
Literally.
what I read about it is it's, to me it seems, because I'm neurotic and I get scared easily. It seems like kind of scary, but what I read is it's kind of it alleviates some of the problems that people might have because you're taking them off the ground, you're decompressing their like spine, you're like doing stuff that's actually, helpful as opposed to it being some kind of extreme version of yoga, right?
Yeah, exactly. I like to say if yoga and Cirque du Soleil came together and had a baby.
It's in my notes. I took that off your site.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
You've done your research.
I did a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, so if they came together, it creates aerial yoga. Honestly, what I love so much about it, if you've ever practiced yoga with the yoga strap or had a teacher next to you supporting you and modifying you through the whole practice, the aerial hammock does that for you. It puts you in proper alignment. It helps modify the practice in such a way that it really supports you. So your entire body weight isn't pressing into your body. Now, it also allows you to go deeper. So no matter where your practice is, it'll take it more gentle or more advanced, where you can be twirling out of the hammocks like Cirque du Soleil.
Do you find that, if somebody was starting out in yoga, you'd probably recommend them do like a beginner's yoga on the ground class just to get the moves down before getting in a, what is it called, a hammock? Is it called a, what's it a hammock?
Yeah, we call it a hammock. You could call it a sling. No way. Come on in. Bring it in. Forget about it. Honestly, because someone who's been practicing yoga for decades, you get them in the hammock and they might have a completely different experience because you are now being supported. So you got to let go of a little bit of that control. So come in with a blank slate, come in experienced. I welcome it all.
So from my thorough research, I noticed on the website that you mentioned going to a lot of circuses as a kid.
Yeah.
Like you were all about the circus.
I was.
Circuses kind of are scary sometimes to me, but you went and you were like, this is awesome.
I loved it. I mean, the lights, the music, the costumes. It was like living in a movie or getting lost in a book. Like, it was so magical, and it still is to me. Like, every Cirque du Soleil or any type of movement like that is just so magnificent and beautiful. And even now, still, I get lost in it.
Wow.
And I just...
Big circus fan.
Yeah,
it's the
special.
acrobats, right? Like, that's what you like watching people swing around and death-defying.
Yeah.
Really?
I do. I love it.
There's that lovely picture of you. It looks like you it was 87. You were in some kind of circus regalia.
So Lauren told me you were doing your research
Hell
and she
yeah,
was
I'm doing
getting
my
a good
research.
giggle out of it. Yes, that was in kindergarten, I believe. It was Miss Willie's class. So
Shout out to Miss Willie.
shout out to Miss Willie. We had a circus. And
Was this like your idea? You're like, Miss Willie, I wanna.
I don't know. I wish I could tell. And honestly, I was the hooper, the hula hooper. I was gonna bring a hula hoop today, actually.
Oh,
I
why
felt
didn't
like
you?
Because I wasn't sure about the space, and I'm ready to hoop anytime you want to have like a tutorial on hooping.
I
Let's do it.
need one. I can't. It just kind of goes around for a second, then it just falls.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
So we'll work on that.
All right.
Expert at it.
All right, good.
Expert. So.
So it all began in Miss Willie's class. You're like, I'm going to take this over.
Yeah, I think so. I think it really stemmed there of like the costume, the hooping, the like camaraderie. It was just, like I said, getting lost in a story. It was so whimsical and
so
fun.
as you got older, you became, before you got into the aerial part, you did the yoga part first, I'm assuming, right? Like you weren't doing any kind of other circus type activities. You went from, school, grew up, yoga, and then from yoga into the aerial yoga.
What's the grow up part?
I mean, you tell me. I don't know. I'm still waiting for that part myself, personally.
All right. So, I lost that dream. I let it go. I let it go of like going to Circus Soleil or Circus Arts. Growing up in Monmouth County, my parents were never the type to be like, hey, I'm going to put you on a train to go train in New York City. They were not having that in any way. So I did what any kid did, the dance, the gymnastics. I was a big swimmer. And it wasn't until I was in college that I took my first yoga class.
Oh.
And for anyone who does yoga out there, I had this big, fluffy, bright blue yoga mat that, like, you would stand on it and then the footprint's still in it.
Yeah.
Like it plushes. I didn't get it, yoga. All I knew was I was getting credits, I was getting an A, and I got a nap.
Yes.
And it seemed amazing.
Yeah.
So I did it. And then after I graduated college, I continued doing this, like, nap thing.
Did you major in naps, or what was your major in college? Was it circus, naps, yoga? What was it?
It was none of those.
Oh, bummer.
Should I tell you?
I mean, yeah, unless this is
a big secret.
Yeah.
I studied communication studies and business admin.
Bam. There you go.
Bam.
I think that's kind of what college what college helps you realize, whether you get the degree in it or not, is kind of like, this is what I think other people think I'm supposed to be doing, and then you get to a point where you're like, fuck that, I don't want to do that, I want to do what I'm doing, Oh.
Pay up.
We have a swear jar here, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm gonna just drop $1 just so.
He's dropping
just
$1.
In case.
He's dropping
just in
one.
case, anyone else.
There,
I gotcha. Boom.
I cursed earlier.
Oh, you did?
I can't. I don't want to curse with my mom's watching
That's
this.
true. That's true. I'm sorry. Sorry, Jodi's mom. So you were in college and you said,
Yeah.
forget this, and admitted to yourself that you wanted to swing around in a hammock.
You know what? I went to college. I kind of forgot about that dream. I forgot about that part, that passion, and it wasn't until after college and I started doing yoga that I took a couple circus classes up in New York.
Right on.
I did.
Yeah.
It was so fun.
That's cool.
And I had an opportunity to open up a yoga studio, and I went at it full throttle, and I was like, I remembered this aerial yoga, and I loved it so much, or just hanging in the hammocks, and I wanted to bring it to this area. There was no place to go, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to bring it here. I don't know what I'm doing, what I'm talking about, anything. I'm going to figure it out, and I'm just going to run with it full throttle, or like fly in it full throttle and fly around. And it really just opened up so many doors. Even when the studio closed, and just the emails that I continue to get still to this day, and just how aerial yoga has really blossomed in this area.
Yeah, and I mean, there is a strong yoga community, obviously, and it's gotten bigger, and there's, a lot of support, which is great. I think it's interesting that you offer something that I don't see around here, which, obviously is aerial yoga. Being a part of this community, for a while now, you've seen it, how it's gotten big. There's a lot of people around here. You see studios open up, you see it close down. In Belmar, you go down Main Street, there's you hit one, you hit another, you see another. And what do you think it is that kind of made this, I guess it's everywhere, but around here, that's just what I see. But what do you think it is that made it kind of get so big that there needs to be so many that people were that interested? You know what I mean? Like, where do you think that desire comes from?
The desire to want more for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And you think about 7-Eleven and Wawa, right? They're on every corner.
Yeah.
You know, to have more yoga studios, to bring more health awareness, to help someone, let's bring it on. Do it. It brings more awareness to all the studios. It's a great thing. And if you want to say competition, you know, a little competition is good.
Yeah.
It's the Hydrox and the Oreo.
Yeah, exactly. I'm feeling it. Do you find yourself too, like, because I find myself when people are like, oh, my back, like I have, you know, my uncle will be like, oh, my neck hurts, but I'm like, you should really try yoga. And then he's like, oh boy, here we go. And I'm just like, well, the reason I bring it up is because it's like low impact, no impact. I don't know where it falls on that spectrum, but like, if you want to do yoga, it's not like you have to get a yoga helmet, or it's like, oh, I need some yoga knee pad. Like, you could wake up and do yoga. You don't need any special, like, you know. So when you see people like that, are you like yoga pushy, or are you just like, all right, your neck hurts, that sucks, good luck, bye. You know what I mean? Like, how do you approach instances like that?
I honestly, it depends on the person, but I usually try to guide them in someone who maybe specializes in it. I actually, this literally just happened. I was getting my hair did this morning, and I ran into an old friend who I haven't seen in many years, and she was like, you know, talking about her arthritis, and guess what? Teaching yoga for someone who has arthritis is not my specialty. So the first thing I do is I think of like my Rolodex of people I know, and just how to connect them together. So, because I don't have all the answers, I don't pretend to, and I think the more we involve our community together as a whole, really is for the benefit of everyone.
Yeah, definitely. And that's, you know, that's what Totally Local is all about, people.
Totally local.
So, I mean, that's part of it too, is the business aspect. And what I want, as far as beautiful, wonderful personalities, you know, and you fall into that category, starting a business in this area, you know, I think that's a unique part of it too, where it's, you know, you have your passion, and, you know, I have my job, I have my own business, and you could be so great at that, but then there's this whole other section of like, all right, I'm gonna go for it. And really, to have that kind of motivation and inspiration, like to really go for it, was that scary for you when you first started, you know, just kind of going out on your own, opening a business, or like starting this as being like, this is who I am, like this is my job, you know, I'm not doing this on the side, this is what I'm about. Like, what made you kind of switch that on to be like, I want to do this?
Well, there's a few questions there. I gotta be honest, I'm scared all the time. I really am. Mark will tell you. I go to him and I'm like, this sounds so amazing. I'm so excited, but I'm so scared. I'm so scared. And honestly, I don't let my fear drive me. I let my excitement drive me.
Right on.
Because my theory is, if I don't go for it, someone else will. Right? Like, paint your own dream, or someone else will pay for you to make their dream come true. So I just go for it.
That's great. You don't exude that at all. When I meet you, I'm like, you look pretty confident. You know, I'm glad when you hug me, because sometimes I see you and I'm like, she looks like she could, like, you know. You hugged me where we were at Yes Graphic, and you gave me a hug, and I was like, damn, you like, you got strength.
That's the aerial yoga.
That's where I'm going. That's what I'm getting to, is like, you gave me a hug, and it made me say, wow, Jodi's, you know, really got some strength, you know, from pulling, stretching, all that stuff in the hammock, in the swing, in the sling, whatever you call it. And then it made me think, like, maybe I should do some aerial yoga.
I think you should. I think we need to go Facebook Live for that,
too. Oh,
too.
boy. I don't know. That's like a blooper reel. I don't know if I want anyone,
well,
you know.
maybe we could talk to the people and see if they want to see you going live. Guys, what do you think? Should we go live with us?
That sounds like, yeah, on the spot, on the on location.
Yeah.
I'm not very, like, this is the problem. I like doing yoga. I started doing yoga maybe 10 years ago when I moved back to the area. Shout out to Lauren Grogan, who was my first yoga teacher.
Oh, I love Lauren.
Yeah, she's awesome. I want to get her on here. And luckily, you know, I'm a picky pants, so like she was a great teacher. You know, I used to be kind of like a yoga snob, where I go into a class and I would walk out. I've walked out on classes.
I've heard that
Yeah.
with other people. I have, and as a teacher, seeing it, you kind of just like, all right.
Yeah,
I guess their practice has been completed.
I mean, yeah, I needed to, you know, definitely chill out in those instances, but you know, being introduced to it, you know, with a teacher like Lauren, it was great because she's super sweet.
Yeah.
And you know, I honestly haven't met a lot of teachers that were judgmental. It's not like I went into a class and you know, felt like I was like being judged by anybody, which is great. Because if you go into, you know, there's certain other, you know, gyms or something are very intimidating, and I don't think yoga is one of those things where you go in and you feel like intimidated by it. Because, you know, like I said before, you don't need any equipment. You could just walk in, and I mean, you need a mat, I guess, but they always got mats and blocks and stuff for you. So that's
They have the nice squishy mat.
yeah, exactly. They got what they got. But as far as you know, people going into doing yoga and the difference between that and aerial yoga, what can people expect when they're going into your class if they're going to get into this hammock? Like, you know, is there any kind of steadfast rules or stuff that you would tell people to be ready for, you know, as far as going into your class? Like, what should they expect, basically, is what I'm saying.
Well, definitely a few things. One, open-minded, not having any expectations of yourself or for me. You know, we get nervous too. Making sure that the back of your knees are covered, so you're not coming in wearing like hot yoga shorts. And it's good to also keep the armpits covered as well, just for.
Is it because like the swing is like, or the hammock? What should I call it? Give me the official ruling.
I
on
call
this.
it a hammock.
Okay. So the official ruling, people, is hammock. It's an aerial yoga hammock. So it's
not
it's,
a sex swing. Just to be clear,
they're two different
it's
things.
not.
If
It
you,
is- it
two
is
different
not.
stores. If you were going to go into the mall, there'd be the yoga hammock store and then the sex swing store. Not the same.
Not the same.
All right, good.
Not
Good
the
to know.
same.
Good to know.
Just to clear that up for
but
anyone.
but the hammock, you know, because you're doing a lot of resting on your knee pits. Are they knee pits?
Yeah.
Armpits,
Sure.
knee pits.
Yeah, knee
Sure.
pits.
All right. So make sure those two parts are covered.
Yeah.
Everything else is optional.
Yep.
And what do you? Everything's done in the hammock. There's no floor stretching. It's all stretching in the hammock.
No, you can use it while you're on the floor too. You guys know TRX, yeah?
Yeah.
So you can use the hammock like it's
Ah.
TRX too. So you can put your feet in it, hands on the floor, doing like handstands or planks. So you could be in the hammock for a whole class. You could be out of the hammock using it as a prop outside the hammock too, like mix and match depending on the class. The class I'm teaching tonight is an aerial core fit class, and we are out of the hammock a lot of the time.
Where's the class at?
Up in Aberdeen at Tula Yoga.
There you go, Tula Yoga.
I love them. They're so great.
So, when you approached this, I'm assuming that you were just doing, I'm going to call it regular yoga for lack of a better term, ground yoga.
Ground yoga.
Ground yoga.
Grass yoga. You were playing in the grass doing handstands.
So, were you teaching classes in ground yoga, and then you were kind of like, you know, enticing people, being like, "Yo, man, I got some yoga for you. Come over here. F all this ground
Dealer.
stuff." Yeah, that's how is that how you got them hooked? Were you just teaching like the ground yoga, and then you're like, "No, you want the next level yoga?"
I have no idea. Like, I'm an excited person. I'm a happy person. I'm energetic, and I think people are attracted to that. And they're like, I just want to do what's going on. I want to try something new, because people get stagnant. They're like, I don't want to go to the gym anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. I want to try something new. I want to take my ground yoga practice to the next level. Or my ground yoga practice isn't working for me. How can I be more supportive? You could do a restorative aerial yoga class. Like, lowering the hammock really low and making it super gentle. I mean, the nice thing is that this hammock really can suit everyone, especially someone who has injuries or someone who's overweight. right? Like, we can lower the hammock down. We can help you. Like, I always want to just bring people in and help them.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter to me if it's on the ground, if it's in the hammock. Let's just help each other. Like, let me help you.
So was there somebody that kind of, brought it back around for you as far as you're doing yoga, you're on the ground, you're like, whatever, everyone's on the ground. And then did somebody come to you like a aerial yoga person, like a master, and be like, you don't want to be on the ground. I could tell. You want to be swinging around the sky. Like what was I want to get to the transition. Where did you go when you wanted to get higher? You're like on the ground and you're like, yoga's on the ground, but I want to get higher.
It was tapping back into that little girl from Miss Willie's class.
Oh, wow.
Honestly, it was, no one came to me and was like, here's an opportunity to bring aerial yoga to Monmouth County, New Jersey. It was more or less like, I experienced this, I loved it, and I wanted to bring it here, and maybe it'll be receptive, people will like it, or maybe people will poo-poo me, and so be it. Like, what's there to lose? I love it. I want to share it.
And ever since you started it, people just love it.
Yeah, mostly. Not everyone loves it.
But it kept going.
It's still going.
Yeah,
and
that's
now
what I'm
we're
saying.
flying in Greece and flying all over the world.
Yeah, well, that's what I was bringing it back. I wanted to talk to you about this. Now you segued so well.
Thank you.
You've taken this now. Is it when you do this aerial yoga in Greece? Is it teacher training or is it more of a retreat? Which one is it? Is it like, can I go? I don't want to do teacher training. I just want to go in a hammock and do some yoga in Greece because it looks friggin' beautiful.
It's so beautiful.
Is it for both or is it teacher training?
Well, it's for both.
All right.
Now we just added a teacher training on.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
we're doing a retreat and then a teacher training right after each other in September there, which is
September
great.
15th, the 21st, possibly?
Oh, snap! yes. And then after we'll be treating and teacher training there, which is so exciting.
That is cool. Because
Yeah.
it's more than just, when you're doing these retreats, obviously it's not like, all right, guys, we're getting up in the hammock, we're done, peace out. It's like you have like an itinerary planned.
Yeah.
Like it's not just about, it's the focal point is obviously the aerial yoga,
Right.
but you kind of planned it out so that you have, multiple things that people get involved in. So what should people expect when they're going to Greece with Jodi?
Yes.
Like when they're strapping in, they're getting ready.
Strap in.
What should they expect?
Oh, great question. They're going to expect a good time.
Hell yeah.
Because you hang out with me for a week.
Yeah, in Greece,
What I've realized is I'm not good at detox retreats. I'm not. I like wine, and you're in, like, Greece.
Yeah.
Why deny yourself?
Yeah, definitely.
Detox when you're home.
Yeah, detox when you get back,
Yeah. Oh, my God. We had such a great time the last retreat that's why we're like, let's do it again. And we are in May, and then again in September. And then probably next spring, too. You're going to wake up. You're going to do maybe a hike, a silent practice, something in the morning just to get the blood flowing. And then we're going to sit down all together, have an incredibly homemade Greek breakfast.
Nice.
Yeah, it's so good. The food is so good.
What's a Greek breakfast? What's that about? Is that like a gyro and some like a cereal bowl? What's going on?
I'm pretty sure it's gyro.
I'll
Did I
say
say that right, Mark?
I believe you did. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I said it
Thank you.
completely wrong.
Yeah, okay.
Incorrect, Andrew. That's
So
why I gotta
they
go on this
do
retreat.
yogurts, honey, teas, coffees, they'll bake stuff. It's everything that you're like at home, because all of our food's processed.
Yeah.
Shout out United States. But there, you eat it, you feel really nourished, you feel good. Everything is so clean. You're not. The food's just incredible. It was lots of fruit, breads.
How did you get hooked up with Greece? Like, did you just call up Greece and be like, look, aerial yoga?
Kind of.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
She just stalks the internet. For
I
places to
do.
go.
I stalk the internet. I'm not going to share all my secrets on here, but I will share this. I stalk the internet, and a lot of rejection.
Oh,
You gotta
really?
get comfortable with rejection.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even tell you how many places across the world I was like, hey, I have this and would like to offer it in your space. Would you be willing to do this and that? And, you know, things work out, things don't. And so I found this
Space.
place.
Yeah. In Greece. That's all we're telling you. No address.
Yeah. So I found this person and I reached out to him and we're getting through like the business stuff, right? The stuff I really love, actually. I really love it because it's so exciting. You're like getting closer and closer and you're like, you know, and then when you actually go and you see things actually happen, it's mind-blowing for me to see my visions come true.
Yeah.
So he has this gorgeous villa and we're getting into it and he's like, so in his accent, I'm not even going to try to butcher his accent because maybe he'll watch this.
How dare you?
Anyway, I adore him. He's amazing. And he was like, so the aerial yoga, we go down the mountain and we do it in a studio. And I was like, that's great and all, but that's not what I want. He's like, what do you want? And I was like, well, I see those beautiful columns outside your villa. I would like to have the hammocks there, please. So please call your contractor and get back to me. And if you can make that happen, we can make this
Wow.
happen.
You're like a boss business lady.
Yeah, you know, you just got to go for it. Like, you know what? I know what I want to give my students. I know what I want to give them. And if I can't make that happen and do it half-ass, he paid.
Prepaid.
Then what's the point of doing it?
Yeah.
You know, I really want to give people a good experience. And if it becomes a great experience, even better. But I know what I want. And especially when it comes to retreats, when it comes to trainings, I want it done well and I want it done right.
Great. So you just put it together. Now, as far as putting the hammocks on these pillars, like, are they strapped around them? Are they drilled? Like, how did he connect them to the? Because that's scary to me.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like,
will this structure hold you?
Yeah, exactly. So.
Yeah, you know what? He took my advice. He reached out to his contractor, and they worked it out, and
So good.
it was amazing. It was.
So they didn't even have this. You
Nope.
made this.
Yeah.
Wow. You got to give like talks on like getting business done. You know.
I would love to.
This is
I
beyond-
really enjoy lifting people up.
Yeah, this is. Oh, that's good. Tied into the. So I mean, it goes beyond that too, because I mean, part of the thing, part of why I wanted to do this, you know, like I mentioned before, is the personality and it's the drive. As far as you having a business, part of it is, you know, aerial yoga. That's the fun part, and then another fun part for you is just making stuff happen. And that, I think, is kind of I don't want to say a terrifying leap, but it definitely is like a leap of faith between, I kind of want to do this, to like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to call up this Greek guy, and you better have those
Yeah.
pillars ready. So
Yeah.
that's incredible. And how long have you been doing the retreats for?
I would say under 2 years.
Uh-huh.
And now we have some really exciting ones in the future.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Top secret? We're not going to
Should
reveal
we
any?
share? I mean, it's kind
You
of,
should.
they're in their work. Yeah, we definitely should. They're in the works for sure, but
Uh-huh.
we have Slovenia,
Oh, wow.
which was one of the recommendations of Mark. He was there years ago, and he's like, you got to go to this place. It's amazing. And I, you know, researched, and now I'm in contact, and that one's in the works. It's
Oh,
getting pretty
wow.
close.
That's cool.
Iceland is another one.
Oh.
Northern Lights.
Shout out to Bjork. That sounds great.
Yeah, and a few other ones,
Uh-huh.
maybe.
So you're expanding.
Yeah, and it's
You don't seem like the type of person to be like, oh, I did it. That's cool. All right, I'm done. You seem the type of person to be like, what else can we do? Who
Yeah.
else can I stalk on the internet? Where else can I put these hammocks?
exactly.
That's
And
so good.
honestly, I just want to share it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I love to travel, and I love to do yoga, whether it's flying or ground yoga.
Yeah. Basic ground yoga
Basic
or aerial
yoga.
yoga. Yeah.
And I love to eat, and I
Uh-huh.
love to adventure.
Yeah.
So why not share that with other people? You know what I find, honestly, is that a lot of people are afraid to travel on their own.
Mm-hmm.
So being able to offer this up to them, not that I know everyone,
Mhm.
but We're going to make this happen.
Oh boy. Okay. All right. We'll work on that. I kind of want to,
I think the Slovenia trip you would be very interested in coming to.
It's got to be in the summer though, right? Because I'm imagining it's cold.
We're looking at June, July of either this year or next year. We haven't decided yet, but it could be as soon as this year.
You want it to be quality, so you got to plan it out accordingly. But it is on the horizon.
Oh, it is like so close. So close. Oh my God. And I get so excited about it. I really do, because it's just, this business excites me. Growing nothing to something excites me.
Yeah.
Whether it's building a box or consulting for a small business and helping them grow or doing things, like these retreats.
Yeah.
It excites me. It really makes me schwitz.
That's the passion. It's shining through.
I mean, I'm so excited.
Well, that's great. That's awesome. That's what people need, and they need that in their lives so that they're not just going through every day in the doldrums of just this machine that we live in. They got to get out there. They got to get off the ground, and they got to get the hell out of the country. So you're offering that. The thing too, I was reading through your website, JodiKobrin.com. You have these blogs on there, and there's this theme of, to me, what I got from it was this theme of wanting to help people in the sense of making them comfortable with themselves, which is, it's from people looking at.
I think as I've experienced everything that I write about myself, and, bad things happen to good people. We all have our own story, and I think that if we could put our energy into more positivity, we hear it, fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
You really start believing it, and you can live a happier life. But I want to empower people, because there's times in my life I didn't feel empowered. There are times in my life where, even now, I have my moments of insecurity. But I want to help people. I really feel like I was put on this planet to help people. Everything I've gone through, which has been a significant amount, maybe to some, or maybe very little to others, is to be strong enough to help someone else.
That's great. That's great. And I think you're doing that in my opinion.
Thanks, guys. Thank you. It's authentic. It's real. I just want to help someone, whether it's help them with positive words or getting into a yoga pose that they've never been able to do, whether it's as simple as pigeon pose, which isn't so simple for most of us, or as crazy as twirling down the fabric.
Oh yeah. I kind of burned myself out at a certain point, because I was so, as far as yoga is concerned and exercise and stuff like that, where I was getting to a point where I was kind of obsessed, where you're looking at a scale, you're measuring things, and you're not seeing all these benefits of how you feel, how you can walk without losing your breath, going upstairs, And I got to a point where I was like, it's not working. I was like, kind of pouting and kind of just got so bitter that I kind of gave up on it. And I had to step away from it. And you don't realize those benefits until you are so far away from it that you can't walk up 2 flights of stairs and not breathe correctly. You know what I mean? So, I think that's what's great from what I read on your website, is that I think you're kind of pointing that out to people, that it's not all this external stuff. It's the internal stuff, and making yourself feel, better, empowering people.
Yeah. Just to live your dream, whatever it is. why let your fear stop you? Why let your insecurities stop you? Why let anything stop you? Just go for it.
That's great.
Because then you regret it if you don't. Or you hold someone, you resent someone or something. Like, just go for it.
Well, I think that's I don't know how long we've been doing this. Is that are we good?
Yeah, you're about 40 minutes now. I have a couple questions from the floor here from Facebook Live.
No.
Bring them
Our
up.
friend Andrew Shiner's been following along. Asks, what's the weather like in Greece during your retreats?
It is amazing. It's like the perfect weather because I set up the retreats where it's like fall or it's spring, so it's never too hot where you're just like, it's unbearable. It's truly gorgeous weather.
And you're right on the coast where you're at too, so there's always a breeze, and it's more temperate, I think, too.
Well said, yeah. So the villa we stay in is at the top of a mountain, and you're literally surrounded by mountains and ocean on both sides. I mean, Andrew, go check on my website, like
JodiKobrin.com.
JodiKobrin.com, yeah. That's a Kobrin.
There you go. Now she's getting into it.
And Jodi with an I. I'll spell it all out.
Yes.
It's JodiKobrin.com.
If I could make
JodiKobrin.com.
a heart over my eyes, I would like to do that.
We could do that. We could do that. Now can we enter that in the public record and make it legal? I don't know if America's ready for that yet.
Graphic designers here, help a sister out.
That we could do. Will it appear in your passport and legal documents?
I
That's
hope
the
so.
tougher part. Andrew also asks, can you do aerial pranayama or meditation?
Yeah, of course. Actually, up at Tula, I do teacher trainings up there as well, and one of my students is very much into meditation, and she holds yoga nidra classes in the hammock. Can you imagine that? Are you guys familiar with yoga nidra? And
I love meditation, but what's yoga nidra? What's that about?
It's a guided meditation
cool.
that brings you to like a sleep-like state.
Oh, sweet.
Where it's like you're almost sleeping, but you're not. It's like this really magical place to be in. Anyway, she teaches meditation and yoga nidra in the hammock. So
That's cool.
yeah, it's amazing. Anything you can do on the floor, you can pretty much do with the hammock, and then some.
Yeah.
That's all I got here.
That's it.
Yes.
No more questions, guys.
Feel free to ask, or if you want to ask any more questions, you can go to JodiKobrin.com.
You can.
Can find you on Twitter at FlySquad108.
Oh my gosh.
On Instagram at Flying Release Yoga, and Flying Release Yoga on Facebook. I'm sure Jodi would be happy to answer any questions
I would. I love
that you might have. Are there spots still open for your Greek retreats?
There are just a few for this one in May. So get on it if you're interested. And you know what? Let's talk. Let's create a conversation of what's holding you back. Because if you want to go, there's something holding you back, and let's figure it out. And if it's financial, that's no excuse. Let's make it happen. Because you deserve it. If you want it, let's make it happen.
Yeah, those experiences are going to shape your life more than you sitting at home wondering if you should go do it. You should go do it.
Yeah, and it includes 2 shiatsu massages.
Oh, yeah.
A wine tasting, all your food, all your wine if you want wine or no wine, all your meals, your transportation to and from. I mean, and Athens, I bring you to the Acropolis, paid for. It's all done. I do it all
cool.
for you. I'm like,
That one is on May 19th to May 25th of
Yeah.
this year. And then you have September 15th to September 21st also.
Yes.
So, and I guess, is Shauna going on she's going to teach with you on the 15th one?
Yeah, she is. And
Okay,
she'll
cool.
be co-teaching the aerial yoga teacher training in Greece as well,
awesome.
which is really fun. I love collaborating. It's so much fun to do that.
Definitely. That's why we're here, collaborating.
I
Yeah.
love it. Why would we not? Like, I'm not that selfish to be like, sorry, this is all for me. No, like, let's help
everybody.
each other.
Yeah,
Why not?
Well, thank you. Thank you for coming in here today and helping me out. And,
Thanks, Andrew.
you know, I can't imagine you haven't inspired people just by sitting in here and just shining your lovely light onto the internet.
Thank you.
Thanks everybody for being here.
Thank you, Andrew,
And,
so much.
Thanks for
Yeah.
having us.
Totally local. First episode in the can. Thank you, Ming. Thank you, Mark. Thanks for everybody for taking part.
Thank you.
Cool.
Bam, that was great.
was so
See you guys. Thank you guys.